All right, so Kenyan McDuffie supporters are feeling confident tonight as well as the first votes come in.
Yeah, Katie Lusso is with them tonight, waiting to hear from the candidate a little later this evening. She's live at the park at 14th Street, the Northwest D.C. So, Katie, what are you hearing from McDuffie supporters tonight? Do they feel a level of optimism, confident that their candidate will potentially come out on top?
Well, I can tell you this room is starting to fill up with people, and they just pumped up the music really in the last 10 minutes. So we've been hearing that music coming over the speakers, people starting to file in and get ready to hear from him himself. Now, I just got an update from his campaign team that he is expected, and Kenyan McDuffie is expected to arrive here right around 8:30. But you mentioned how he was a little bit behind in the polling, and I want to mention that we talked to him about that earlier today, and he said he has always been counted out, but he has always defied the odds when it came to that. So he is feeling confident. That's when I spoke with him around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and he said he's going with this confidence because he feels he is the most experienced person here. He has 13 and a half years on the city council under his belt. He spent 3 of those years as the at-large council member, 10 years as the Ward 5 council member. So he says he is the guy for the job here. He also has a history with the legal system. He was a prosecutor, a criminal prosecutor. He was also a civil rights attorney who worked under the Obama administration. So he says he has some pretty strong priorities here, and a lot of that comes from his skill and background. His priorities being safety, affordability for the DC residents, and he is willing, he says, to fight against President Trump as well as Republicans on the Hill for DC and the people who live here. Now, we spoke with him as he voted this morning. We caught up with him as he greeted voters outside of the Chevy Chase Community Center late this afternoon. It's one of the several stops that he made throughout the day today, just really trying to connect with voters before they headed to the polls, even though we do know a lot of people headed out early. We also spoke with him as he himself voted this morning at Turkey Thicket Rec Center alongside his wife and 2 daughters. He joked that at least he got 3 guaranteed votes out of that. Now, jokes aside, he said he is prepared to lead on day one, prepared to manage the $21 billion budget and deliver the core services needed by DC residents efficiently.
I'm not going to default to raising people's taxes. This isn't just about making promises and empty rhetoric. I've delivered for 13 and a half years as a council member transformational laws and policies, making this city more affordable and really focusing on people's safety.
Now, you've heard him talking pretty consistently about how he is ready to lead on day one. So I asked him, what does that mean? What does day one look like for you? And he said, if he wins tonight, tomorrow he will get to work trying to figure out who he will put in as the police chief. He says public safety is a big priority for him. And with the police department, he wants to prioritize making sure that officers have accountability, that there is transparency within the Metropolitan Police Department. And he talked a lot about how he wants that from the chief of police, but he also wants that from the officers within the department. He says he wants them to be hitting the streets. He wants a push on community policing. He wants these officers to get out there in the community, to walk the streets, know the people who live there, whether it's the seniors or the young people. But he says that is one of his big priorities. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But again, his day one goal is right there for you.
Before we can get to a day one, we got to talk about tonight, Katie. So do we have any idea of what McDuffie's message will be to some of his supporters who are gathering?
Yeah, I think he's going to really hone in on that. He's the guy that has the experience and he wants to lead. His messaging has been consistent. Every time we hear from him, it's those same really 3 things: that safety is a priority, affordability, and of course that fight for autonomy for DC residents. So I think we'll continue to hear that same messaging. It hasn't really changed from when we heard from him when he first announced to really even this afternoon.
Katie Lusso reporting live for us. Katie, thank you so much.
Ready to party there, huh?
Yeah.
Music already going.
I almost hit a 2-step a couple minutes ago.
It is early. All right. So election